Welcome. The virtual trip you are about to take is sponsored by Lundbeck as an introduction to their promising new antidepressant, Escitalopram. You will be transported to a harsh but intriguing landscape, symbolizing the daunting nature of depression. From this increasingly muted and dark place, you will then journey into the human brain to get a close-up view of the unique mode of action of Escitalopram, which works to effectively alleviate depression and bring renewed hope and functionality to your patients. In the brain, information is passed along via electric signals. When the electric pulse reaches the presynaptic terminal of one neuron, the signal is chemically transferred to the postsynaptic terminal of the next neuron. On a synaptic level, neurotransmitters like, for example, serotonin, are responsible for this communication. Serotonin, also called 5-HT, is released into the synaptic cleft where it stimulates postsynaptic receptors. After this activation, serotonin transporters are responsible for reuptake of the serotonin into the neuron. A prominent feature of depression is the lower serotonergic activity in certain brain areas arising from a too low serotonin concentration. Conventional serotonin reuptake inhibitors like SSRIs and SNRIs act by binding to the serotonin transporter protein to inhibit the serotonin reuptake. This binding is a dynamic process where the compounds attach and detach to the serotonin transporter. This results in an intermittent and pulsatory blockage of the serotonin reuptake system. We know that these drugs bind to the primary high-affinity binding site of the transporter protein. This binding blocks the serotonin reuptake and raises the serotonin concentration in the synaptic cleft. It is a common understanding that this overall increase in serotonin level is essential for the improvement of the depressive state. Escitalopram works differently than all other known serotonin reuptake inhibitors. It also binds to a secondary binding site that modulates the affinity of the primary binding site. This binding introduces a conformational change in the transporter protein, which leads to a tighter binding of the escitalopram molecule bound to the primary binding site. Due to this unique mechanism, escitalopram produces a more efficient blockage of the serotonin reuptake than other serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Escitalopram produces an improved serotonin reuptake inhibition and substantially raises the serotonin concentration in the synaptic cleft. This unique mechanism of action is thus responsible for a superior serotonin activity in the brain and an improved clinical effect of escitalopram. Thus, the faster onset of symptom relief and better efficacy are the cornerstones of the escitalopram treatment.